A thundering applause, students, for this special moment, special event at Chitkara University. Can we hear it loud, all of you, the young Turks of Chitkara? Thank you very much. A very warm afternoon to everyone. With your permission, sir, our guest of honor, Mr.TPS Walia, Senior Vice President and CEO, Punjab, Reliance Jio Infocom Limited, Dr. Ashok K. Chitkara, Honorable Chancellor, Chitkara University, Dr. Madhu Chitkara, Revet Pro Chancellor, Chitkara University, distinguished guests from Jio Infocom Limited, esteemed members from press fraternity, dear faculty, and young Turks of Chitkara University. It is such a pleasure and a privilege for me to welcome you all for the Jio True 5G launch event. On behalf of Chitkara University, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. TPS Walia, Sir, Senior Vice President and CEO, Punjab, Reliance Jio Infocom Limited, for honoring us with his gracious presence and giving us this defining moment in the history of Chitkara University. Ma'am, just addressing something for all of us here. तुम जियो हजारों साल, साल के दिन हो 50,000. Ma'am, we all grew up listening to this song. Little did we know that Jio is not limited to 50,000. It is infinite, as 5G is the beginning of an infinite sky of opportunities. 5G देश के द्वार पर नए दौर की दस्तक है. 5G अफसरों के अनंत आकाश की शुरुआत है, as said by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, who on 1st October launched 5G services in India. And today is a significant moment adding to the crowning glory of Chitkara University, as Jio is the first and only operator to roll out 5G services in Chitkara University campus, covering each and every corner of the university. This is just tip of the iceberg, dear young Turks. To share about the realm and the ocean of opportunities, let me have the pleasure of introducing and then inviting our guest of honor, Mr. TPS Walia, Senior Vice President and CEO, Punjab, Reliance Jio Infocom Limited. And amongst your thundering applause, I would like to invite upon stage Mr. TPS Walia, Senior Vice President and CEO, Punjab, Reliance Jio Infocom, for his address and talk about Reliance Jio True 5G event. Sir.
Good afternoon. Thanks, ma'am, for your kind words. But to be honest, if in this hall anyone deserves the honor, I think it is Mr. Chitkara, whose vision is there. I have no word to express my gratitude to Mr. Chitkara for giving me this honor that I am speaking in his presence, and special thanks to ma'am, Mrs. Chitkara also. अरे देखते देखते Chitkara has become from a seed to a banyan tree. It is an institution of excellence, and while speaking to him, I realized that you have become a university in 2010, I think, and that was the same year when Jio also got incorporated. Reliance Jio Infocom was incorporated in 2010, and like Chitkara has reached the pinnacle of excellence in these last 13 years, Jio has also become the market leader, rather national market leader in the field of digital services in India. And I'm very sure, even after 100 years, in 2021-10, both Chitkara and Jio will be at the pinnacle of this country's academic and technological innovation. Dear students, while initially I thought I'll speak about 5G technology, but after coming here and meeting Sir and meeting few of your senior leaders, I have changed my mind. I'll take 10-15 minutes on something else which is not part of my presentation. I think most of the audience sitting here belong to engineering side, engineering, computer engineering, electronics engineering, right? Now, I can talk about artificial intelligence, I can talk about blockchain technology, I can talk about robotics, I can talk about machine language, I can talk about coding. But perhaps this is better left to your professors who would have been teaching you all these things in your classroom. So I'm taking a slight diversion, telling you that you're studying technology. Do you want to be just a technology employee working for someone, doing coding for someone, or do you really want to change the world? That's where I'm taking the first 10-15 minutes. Allow me, being an engineer myself, so I feel very passionately close to the young engineers. I'll speak three things before coming to my presentation. The first thing is, in today's scenario, no one can achieve leadership in any field if it is not backed by technology. Now, digest this statement and let me explain it with statements, with few live examples. World's top 5 companies. Do you know who are the world's top 5 companies? Any guess? Any answer? Apple, yes, someone was saying Apple. Microsoft, Google, Tesla is still not amongst that 5 companies till now. Meta, yes. Facebook, Meta, the parent of that Meta, or Alphabet, which is Google's parent. So, mota agar brand level pe jaye, to it is Apple iPhone, Google, Facebook, and Microsoft. What is common amongst all these companies? Technology. These companies build technology which transformed the world. Google transformed how to search. Google also transformed with an operating system, made every phone a smartphone. Facebook changed the way people connect socially, and so on. Now, if you go to the Zeitgeist of, let's say, when I was studying 20 years ago. So, in the Zeitgeist of, let's say, 1990, 1995, 2000, the world leader companies were steel manufacturing companies, Nippon Steel, or maybe Walmart retail, or petroleum companies. Which was the biggest brand in the world? Coca-Cola. Pepsi. Which was biggest brand in India? Vicks. Now, complete transformation of the world. Now, top 5 companies in the world are technology company. Top companies in India are also technology company. Reliance Industries, Tata Consultancy Services. Top brand in India now across all category is not Vicks, not Dettol, not Lux, it is Jio. Now, this is the way things have changed. Technology has proven that if you want to lead, then you have to be the leader in technology. Now, till now I give an example of technology companies. Even if you choose which is the biggest bank in India, the best bank in India, highest market capitalization bank in India, HDFC. And why not any other bank? Why HDFC? HDFC CEO himself says, we are not a bank. We are a fintech company. Finance and technology company. So he is number 1 because he again relied on technology. Which is biggest consumer goods company in India? Fast moving consumer goods company in India? Hindustan Lever. Now ask their CEO. He again says, साबुन तेल तो हमारे जैसे कोई भी बना लेता है. We are number one because we know how to build brand. We are number one because we are leader in technology. So this is the first point which I wanted to tell you. Please remember, technology makes you leaders. And you are lucky that you are working in the field of, you are studying in the field of technology, and that to an institution like Chitkara. Now, isi pe cheez end nahi hoti. Second point which I wanted to share with you is that technology can help you to leapfrog from bottom level to the leadership level. It can catapult you from being, let's say, a 10th player to a number one player. But if you do not keep on changing the orbit of technology, if you do not keep on innovating and continue to be on the cutting edge of technology, it is very difficult to stay at the leadership position. You can become number one, but you cannot remain number one. Now, to digest this point, let me give an example. Google is a search engine now. Which was the search engine 10 years ago? Yahoo. Where is Yahoo now? You must be using a phone now, let's say you use iPhone, right? Smartphone, example, iPhone, or any other operating system in the smartphone which the leading phones are using? Android, Samsung, whatever that, right? Now, which was the handset, mobile handset, brand number one in the world, even in India? Nokia. Where is Nokia now? BlackBerry used to be the icon. Every top shot of corporate world used to flaunt his BlackBerry. Now if you go to a shop and ask for BlackBerry, shopkeeper will give you fruit, BlackBerry fruit. BlackBerry is dead. Today you connect on social media through Facebook. Remember, which was the company in before Facebook? Orkut. Where is Orkut now? Dead. So Yahoo, leader in search engine, dead. Yahoo, leader in email, open emails. Yahoo, Hotmail, where are they? Dead. Orkut, dead. Nokia, BlackBerry, none of them survived. All of them became market leader due to their technology innovation. Why they failed? Because of complacency and because of not building a culture of continuous innovation. Continuously you have to be leading the technology change rather than following. Moving to the next orbit. So as a student of engineering and science, you have to keep in mind that never develop complacency with the existing technology. Technology can take you to the leadership position, but it cannot keep you there. मैं इसके साथ relate करके आपको जियो की example देता हूँ. I have a third point still to say. I told 3 things I'll speak about technology, but let me give you Indian context about technology. India got independence in 1947. तब से landline phone शुरू हुए. When did India get the first mobile phone? Any idea? How many years it took India to move from landline to mobile phone? The first mobile phone in India came maybe when none of you would even have been born. That was in 1995. It took almost 47 years for India to make a transition from landline to a mobile phone. And what was that mobile phone network? It was 2G network. उस टाइम अगर किसी के मोबाइल पे GPRS आ जाता था तो लगता था that guy has arrived in the field of technology. 2G mobile to 3G mobile. That probably you would have seen. When did 3G phone came in India? 3G network, 3G phone came in India? Any idea? You would have been in your primary school that time. 2009. So it took how many years? Almost 15, 16 years in moving from 2G to 3G. If Jio had not come to India, perhaps 3G to 4G would have taken another 15 years. We launched and reduced the gap between 3G and 4G launch, and we launched our services in 2015-16. Now 4G to 5G, We made it happen within 5-6 years. We could have also taken 20 years. Thank you. It's a fact, young boys, that if Jio had not come here, India perhaps would not even have launched 4G till now. If you see, the biggest government operator still has not launched 4G. Now, we could have also been, sitting complacently that, okay, now we have become market leader. We brought the best quality, best technology of 4G, and Jio within 2 years of launch became market leader. There were 14 operators when we launched, and Jio emerged from the 14th level and became number 1. As I said, a catapult. With new technology, we catapulted ourselves and became number 1. But we always remembered that customer wants the latest technology. We cannot be sitting on our laurels. We cannot be complacent. We have to be leading the technology change. That's why we brought Jio fiber kind of a technology and Jio 5G technology. So I was telling Mrs. Chitkara that today your campus has got the telecom technology which is there in Harvard, which is there in Michigan. My daughter studies in Michigan. So now your institute is at the same level of technology that is there. In fact, my colleagues know here, ma'am. I always make this, complaint to them that my daughter complained after going to US. The first complaint she made, Papa, wahan pe Jio jaisa ek bhi network nahi. She tried Verizon. She tried Sprint, and finally she settled for AT&T. That's also compromise. She says, वहाँ पे भी ऐसी technology नहीं है, ऐसी wide coverage, ऐसी good quality network नहीं है. So now, today onward, your campus actually has been put up to that level where, why should India be left behind compared to any of the best technology, best country in the world? Why should Chitkara be left behind? So this is our commitment, sir and ma'am, that we will fully support you to make Chitkara lead the technology change. Because your institution deserves the best, and we will definitely support you with the best technology. Now you understood why Jio keeps on investing in technology, why we pay a premium for innovation in technology, and you would also be glad to know that till now, India was importing all this technology from the world. Kabhi China se leke aaye, kabhi Huawei se network leke aaye. Jio 5G actually as a network developed in India, and this will be now exported to all countries of Europe and Africa. Designed by engineers like you. That's a matter of pride for India. Now, we talked about leadership is not possible without technology. We talked that it is not possible to remain at #1 position if you do not continuously invest in technology and stay ahead of the technology curve. Any question about these 2 points till now? Should I come to the third point now? These are all unstructured. I was not prepared for this point because this is not, you will not find it in the presentation. Where is the presentation? You are running the presentation?
So it's from the back side, it will be done.
So that is not a part of the presentations, but let me come to the third point, which is actually very important. Now, while I am, singing songs about technology, but let me also tell you, every technology does not lead you to success. Which kind of technology takes you to the leadership level? Technology which is backed by a strong vision. I was just mentioning, sir, that there were many institutes which started along with Chitkara, maybe plus minus 5 years. Where are they? And where is Chitkara? Chitkara has become such a respected, symbol of excellence in the field of academics. It is because of the vision which Mr. Chitkara carried. And he pursued, he built a team, he pursued his vision, and today actually brought Chitkara to this level. First of all, let's actually have a big round of applause for Chitkara. And sir. Now, if technology is originating from a vision, then it transforms life. I had been very, very fortunate to meet a few of the legends, Google founders. You know the name of the Google founders? Larry Page and? There was a third founder also. Scott Hassan was the third founder of Google. In fact, he was the one who wrote the software code for Google. I'm particularly addressing the computer engineering guys. Third guy, Scott Hassan, was the guy who designed the code for the Google search engine. But why none of you know about him? Because he wrote the code, but he was not convinced about Google being the world leader. He did not have the vision. That vision was with Laurie Page and Sergey Brin. Today, अब check करके देखना कहीं Google पे Google करके देखना कि Google के founder कौन थे? Who was the third founder? He left Google even before Google got incorporated as a company in 1996. These two guys had the vision. They pursued Google, and today Google is world's one of the biggest, most known brand. There's hardly anyone who is not using Google. So what I'm trying to say, it is not only good to be a good coding person or a software programmer. You need to have that kind of a vision. And when a technology emerges from a vision, then it transforms the life of millions or perhaps billions of people. Like you've seen, Google has transformed billion lives. Similarly, from the same Google, why Orkut did not survive? They treated Orkut like a stepchild. एक manager को दे दिया, तू develop कर ले. It was not backed by the vision. Hence, Orkut as a social media network failed, while Facebook was actually again founded by a visionary person who had vision about social networking. Zuckerberg. He had a vision about social networking, so he made Facebook big. Google could not make Orkut a big name. But the same Google again designed another product which was based on their passionate vision, and again they led the world. And this I have heard from them themselves. When the founder of Google were in India, it was at our chairman, Mr. Mani's house. We were lucky to meet, in fact, this guy Tim Cook, Apple CEO, as well as Google founders. So when you hear the story from them, कि आपने Android कैसे बनाया? Technology product है, it's an operating system. कैसे बना? You know why? He said everyone before before Android were using those so-called BlackBerry and all, which was BlackBerry was very niche product. So anyone using smartphone, which operating system was he forced to use? This one, operating system, iPhone. कितना महंगा था, कितने कम लोग अफोर्ड कर सकते थे. So Google founder, they said we were very clear that we may not make profit, but we will provide this equality to people. Why can't someone, I'm just using Indian currency thing, why can't someone with 5,000 rupees use a smartphone? Why should he be forced to spend 50,000 rupees for using a smartphone? Because iPhone average price is 50,000. He wanted to bring smartphone in the hands of a person who can afford only 5,000 rupees. So they brought Android. They developed Android internally and they brought it there. But in technical language, no, that is for common person to understand. This was the vision behind Android. But for you guys, engineers, you know what is the biggest difference between operating system and Android? Operating system is still a closed system. Android is an open source code system. Even you could develop some app for Android. It's an open source code. So he wanted to challenge the monopoly of operating system, and he built a team of Android people, and today Android has indeed become world's biggest operating system for smartphone. It is not operating system, mind it. He has built it, Android as the biggest operating system. So again, what does it prove? If you are backed by a vision, what was his vision? He wanted to bring equality. Okay? Why should smartphone be in the hands of only the rich and famous? Why can't everyone use this? So backed by vision, hence Android became a successful. Of course, it was a technology product. Now, मैं एक और example आपको अपनी Indian context में देता हूँ. Why was Jio launched? Mr. Mukesh Ambani was sitting in an American conference, and there data was presented about internet penetration, and India's rank was some 123rd. World की 150 countries के बारे में data present किया गया था, and India was at lowly 123rd position. That day he decided that he will take India to world's top, in fact, that time he said, I decided that we'll take India to the at least top 5 countries in terms of internet penetration. And with that vision, he formed Jio and decided to start directly with 4G technology, not with 2G, not with 3G, directly with 4G, with a vision. Why should internet penetration be only for the rich countries? Why not for India? Why within India it should be only for the urban metro crowd? Why can't even a villager have an access to 4G technology? He launched Jio with this goal, and today, you know, India is world's #1 in terms of internet usage. Highest internet usage on mobile per person, per capita consumption on mobile is India. And India, as a single operator, Jio has the #1 number of users as a single operator in a single country using internet-enabled network on their phone. Itni badi change. He thought he will bring it to top 5 countries. It has actually India has become #1 country in the world. Now, ये तो था country to country आपने vision रखा और match किया. Now, when we launched Jio 4G, it was on expensive phones, because 4G phones were expensive than 2G, 3G phones. So then we brought Jio phone and handed over to, poor villagers who could afford it at 999 rupee. In fact, before that, 3G, अगर आप लोगों ने देखा हो, 3G was only in metro city in Punjab. You know how many cities had 3G network? Only top 10 cities. Because it was believed that 3G is for urban rich people. When we launched Jio, we took our network up to villages. In fact, that was the first time we came to know that Punjab has 12,500 villages. Frankly, despite being a Punjabi, I never realized that Punjab has 12,500 villages. But we were clear that we will provide 4G technology to 12,500 villages. उस टाइम मेरे साथ मुनीश गावा भी हैं. हम लोग विलेज बाय विलेज नेम टिक करते थे. आज ये वाला विलेज हो गया, आज ये वाला विलेज हो गया. And today I take great pride in saying that Jio 4G was actually made available to the farthest of the village, even on the Pakistani border. But that was the level of penetration we took there. And then again we realized, अभी भी कुछ लोग यूज नहीं कर पा रहे. क्यों? फोन महंगे थे. Their network is there, so they wanted to use 4G network, but telephone नहीं था उनके पास, mobile headset नहीं था. So we brought a cheaper version of, we ourselves called it Jio phone, and gave it to people at a subsidy, which was 999 rupees. That's how this transformation happened, and today even the poorest person in a village is able to use 4G technology. Otherwise, all this 3G, 4G was supposed to be urban elite phenomena. Now you understand why Jio became #1. It was backed by a vision. Of course, it was a superior technology, but technology alone cannot take you to the position of leadership. So I hope now you are able to relate to these 3 things. Technology, without technology, you cannot attain leadership. Number 2, with technology, you can catapult to become #1 in the leadership position, but you may not be able to stay at #1 position if you do not continue with your innovation, continue with your investment in technology, and continue to lead the change in technology. This was the second point. And third, only those technology ideas work well, take you to leadership position, if they are backed by a strong vision to change, to transform the life of people. Clear? In fact, when we were about to launch, so I remember an anecdote. Our chairman mentioned that, within 1 year we should become #1 and all. So one of our South Indian friend, he mentioned that we are the 14th operator. We are the last entrant in this industry. How can you expect us to be market leader within 1 or 2 years? So he that time made a statement that in 10 years, in India, these 14 operators will not last. There will only be 4 operators. And that time we felt that perhaps it is the arrogance of, India's biggest industrialist. But when he narrated why it will happen, then we realized that we lacked vision. He had vision. You know what he said? He said, क्या दिया इन companies ने आके? Vodafone, for example, was world's leader that time. Vodafone used to claim that I am the world's largest telecom operator. इंडिया में क्या दिया आपको याद है? वोडाफोन के नाम से अगर किसी ने देखा हो, मे बी स्टूडेंट्स ने शायद ना देखा उतना, 10 रुपए का समोसा, 10 रुपए का छोटा रिचार्ज। एक्चुअली ऐसा था, 2 रुपए की चॉकलेट, 5 रुपए की चॉकलेट, 5 रुपए का नाइट रिचार्ज। पंडित जी को हाथ दिखाएं, अपना भविष्य पता करें। मतलब आई यूज्ड टू फील सो, ही एक्चुअली रेटेड दिस थिंग कि बताइए इसके लिए बुलाया था वोडाफोन को वहां से। टेल मी एनी इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट दैट वोडाफोन काइंड ऑफ ए मल्टीनेशनल global leader introduced in India. I challenge you, tell me any one technological innovation that they brought in India. मेरा open challenge आपको। That time when ask your elder brothers and your parents when they used to travel from Punjab to Delhi, सबसे पहले जाके दिल्ली क्या करते थे? डेटा ऑफ करते थे, नहीं तो बिल 5,000 हो जाता था। रोमिंग सोच के कॉल करनी पड़ती थी बिकॉज रोमिंग चार्जेस वेरी एक्सपेंसिव। आपने एसएमएस करना था, 2-2, 3-3 रुपए का एक एसएमएस होता था। वॉइस कॉलिंग वेरी एक्सपेंसिव, एसटीडी वेरी एक्सपेंसिव, आईएसडी वेरी एक्सपेंसिव। टुडे इज देयर एनी एसएमएस चार्जेस? जीरो। इज देयर एनी रोमिंग चार्जेस? जीरो। इज देयर एनी डेटा रोमिंग चार्जेस? जीरो। हैव यू रियलाइज्ड दिस चेंज? दिस इज व्हाट जियो ब्रॉट हियर। So that's why, and in fact, now look at the vision which he had 10 years ago, and today there are actually only 3 operators left. So technology, if it is not backed by the vision, it will never take you to the leadership position. So these were the 3 points which I wanted all our young engineers to keep in mind, that हमने सिर्फ कोडिंग करने वाले प्रोग्रामर नहीं बनना, हमने टेक्नोलॉजी को एक प्लेटफॉर्म की तरह यूज करना है जिससे कि आप पूरी दुनिया की लोगों की लाइफ को ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सकें। जियो इज कमिटेड टू डिजिटली ट्रांसफॉर्म द लाइफ ऑफ इंडियंस, एंड आई टेक ग्रेट प्राइड इन सेइंग, जस्ट 2000, ओके लेट मी होल्ड दिस स्टेटमेंट। आप सब लोग अभी पेमेंट यूज करते हैं, कैश देते हैं, क्या यूज करते हैं? गूगल पे, यूपीआई, पेटीएम, व्हाट एल्स? I'm just, I came to know that all payment transaction here are also totally digital. So have you realized that this Swiggy, Zomato, आप खाना ऑर्डर करते हैं Swiggy, Zomato, taxis, Ola, Uber, hotel booking, OYO, payment, Google Pay, Paytm, ये सब क्या 2012 से पहले होता था? Answer me. ये तो आपको याद होगा। It was not there. So that's what I'm saying. I take great pride in saying this, that Jio not only attained leadership for its own benefit. Jio built a strong digital superhighway on which all these technology companies also created their own platforms and digitally changed the life of millions or billions of people across the world, across this country. So that's the power of this company, that's the power of a vision-backed technology. So now I'll request my team to come to the main presentation here, for which we are actually assembled today to launch Jio True 5G services. I still take a minute in case you have any question about those 3 points which I mentioned about technology, because you may learn coding, artificial intelligence, robotic, machine language from your teachers. But perhaps this kind of vision you also need to develop in your mind. Any question till now about that before we move to the 5G launch? Should we proceed? Okay, so I'm very pleased to share with you that today onward your campus will be Jio True 5G enabled, rather empowered by the digital power of Jio True 5G. So आपको सुन के अजीब लग रहा है मैं बार बार ट्रू पे इंसिस्ट क्यों कर रहा हूँ? Why I am simply not saying 5G? So there are 3 reasons for that. Number 1, Jio has chosen to invest more in our 5G network by building stand-alone 5G architecture. इसका मतलब सिंपल लैंग्वेज में ये है कि we could have used the same tower, उसके ऊपर एक एक्स्ट्रा एंटीना लगा दिया कि अब ये 4G के साथ 5G भी रेडिएट करेगा। 5G, it was possible. Most places in the world, this is how network operators have gone and upgraded from 4G to 5G. That was the cheapest way. But like, an institutions are built to last for decades and centuries. So we also wanted to build a network which will last for decades and centuries, not कि आज 4G or 5G additional incremental investment करके कर दिया. So we chose stand-alone 5G network where we are connecting all our towers by dedicated fiber, optical fiber, and all of you must have known that fiber carries infinite capacity for data transmission. So we have chosen stand-alone 5G architecture which will run independent of 3G or 4G telecom network. So that's a higher investment, but the best technology available in the world. That's why, ma'am, I was saying that the technology 5G which you're getting in your campus now, it is the same which you will be getting in anywhere in, let's say, the most high-tech countries like Japan or America. Second advantage that we have got in Geo True 5G, why we are calling it True 5G? Ultimately, mobile, I communicate with you through mobile, it is through airwaves. Airwaves को हम क्या बोलते हैं टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज में? स्पेक्ट्रम. So airwaves travel on spectrum. Geo has invested in the biggest chunk of spectrum across various frequencies. So we have a combination of 3300 megahertz and the 750 megahertz, which is the most expensive band of spectrum, but it gives you an advantage. आज आपके कैंपस में अगर आपका 4G पे भी चलाओगे, 4G पे भी हमारे पास 800 मेगाहर्ट्ज का स्पेक्ट्रम है, which has the capacity to penetrate few walls of this auditorium and reach you. Higher frequency bands do not penetrate the walls. Similarly, in 5G, we have 750 megahertz band, which will actually come to your hostel rooms also. So you will not find कि signal बाहर तो ठीक है, मेरे room के अंदर signal ठीक नहीं आ रहा. So that's due to the power of largest and the best mix of spectrum. अब स्पेक्ट्रम मिक्स कैसे होता है? उसके लिए द थर्ड पॉइंट, कैरियर एग्रीगेशन. इफ यू नोटिस द थर्ड पॉइंट, व्हाट इज कैरियर एग्रीगेशन? All these multiple bands of spectrum are there in your, your mobile is communicating through all these three spectrum bands. So we have chosen this carrier aggregation technology, which will mix all these three bands and create a robust super digital highway on which all your communication to and fro will travel, and that will give you a unique experience. So there may be many other 5G operators across the world, but there are very few, perhaps none, who is using all the three unique advantages of standalone 5G architecture, largest and best mix of spectrum, and carrier aggregation technology. That's why we are calling Geo as not Geo 5G, but Geo True 5G, and you will experience it when you will start using it. Thank you for your patient hearing on this slide. Perhaps this is the most important slide, and for an engineer, this is the biggest pride. Next. Now, it's our, very humbly I'm saying this thing, that I genuinely want Chitkara as an institution to be always connected with the best technology. It's not now. And as a CEO of Geo here, I want to give you this assurance, ma'am. Whenever we launch any superior technology also, we will come to your campus and upgrade your campus technology even to that. As of now, whatever is the best, that is being connected. In fact, अभी हमारे एक side पे अभी भी हमने microwave के साथ किया. It will take us some time to connect that on optical fiber. Otherwise, your campus is now connected with the best technology, and this kind of investment you have seen: 6 towers, 316 small cells, 9 kilometer worth optical fiber has already been deployed, and this has helped us to make this humble statement that it is our small contribution towards taking Chitkara to the world level of digital connectivity. Thank you. Next. Now you may say 5G मेरे campus में है, बाहर क्या है अगर मैं 5G connectivity पे जाऊँगा? For your information, almost in fact say अब तक शायद 5,000 cities ही हो चुकी होंगी. Almost 5,000 cities in the country, 115 cities of Punjab are already covered with Geo True 5G. आप अमृतसर से शुरू करेंगे, National Highway number 1, starting from Amritsar going up to Delhi. All major towns on this highway have been connected with the Jio True 5G. So all district headquarters have been connected with the Jio True 5G. Overall 115 cities have been connected in Punjab with the Jio Fiber. अब हम अपनी जर्नी अर्बन से गांव तक लेके जाएंगे. 5G भी पूरे 12,000 गांव तक जाएगा. That's our journey, and it is still midway. I think our commitment is by the end of this year. By the end of this year, we will be connecting all villages also with 5G. Next.